Hello and welcome to this special episode of Homeland. I'm Pooja Shali. A lot is happening across West Asia, Middle East region, and what this regional conflict could actually turn into. So that's what I've decided to focus on in this episode. After the ground operations in Gaza, Israel's defense forces have entered into Lebanon. These are not aerial or drone strikes, but boots on the ground. And IDF says they've taken a vow to finish off Hezbollah terror group. Israel claims that most Hezbollah strongholds, or military facilities as it can be called, have been housed underneath residential areas. And therefore, apart from Nasrallah and other Hezbollah members found dead, there have been other casualties too, and possibly in hundreds and counting. There's also been displacement that has been reported specifically at Lebanon-Syria border. And even inside Israel, on the border with Lebanon, the area has been designated as closed military zone, which means even there has been displacement reported of many. But here's what has been noticeable amid all of the strikes that are taking place. Israeli forces hit a jackpot when in a precise airstrike they eliminated the chief of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah. But it is not as much about Nasrallah, but where he was reportedly residing all this while. The target of the Israeli strike was a densely populated suburb in Beirut known as Daya, which is known to have a strong presence of Hezbollah. A post by the IDF shows the images, heavy ammunition being used by the Hezbollah and stored inside civilian buildings in Lebanon. In a video statement delivered on social media site X, IDF's chief, Daniel Hagari, explained through a video how that happens. Headquarters, in many ways, of Hezbollah underneath houses of civilians. A similar situation, where did we see it? In Gaza. Using human shields to carry out terror networks, knowing fairly well that these areas cannot and will not be targeted. And if and when the enemy does strike, in this case it is Israel, innocent people could also likely be hit, and that can have disastrous consequences. And that strategy, imagine, leading to the death of possibly civilians, innocent people as well. Remember, otherwise military installations or soldiers have separate designated areas. Civilians are usually moved out from that location, like Israel has done within its own territory. In cases of Gaza and in Lebanon, it doesn't look like the case. But more than this war, it's about the 3H in the West Asia region. Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and Houthis in Yemen and in the Red Sea. So it's been a multi-pronged war. While these organizations have been with Israel involved in back and forth attacks, leading to a lot of casualties in the past few months. But past 10 to 15 days have been extraordinary, to say the least. Remember this: spontaneous explosions of the pagers mobiles in Lebanon. Then Nasrallah's death. Everything appears to be so meticulously planned in advance by Israel. But that also means an escalation now. Hezbollah is prepared for the next in command. Houthis have pledged to continue their attacks on Israel 4 days ago till Israel would stop its aggression in Gaza and in Lebanon. Reports also say the group also attacked cities like Tel Aviv and Ashkelon, along with carrying out attacks on 3 US Navy warships with missiles and drones. Even a ballistic missile attack was launched on one of Israel's main airports when Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was arriving there. But all of these are considered to be a proxy for Iran. So interestingly, Israel's Prime Minister released a video. It was not for Lebanon, it was not for Israel, but an address to the people of Iran.
Yet at this pivotal moment, I want to address you, the people of Iran. Iran's tyrants don't care about your future, but you do. When Iran is finally free, and that moment will come a lot sooner than people think, everything will be different. Our two ancient peoples, the Jewish people and the Persian people, will finally be at peace.
So while Iran has also vowed revenge on it, also announced days of mourning, if there's one side Iran, on the other is USA. After these attacks, the National Security Communication Advisor to the White House, John Kirby, said that this week majority of Hezbollah's senior leadership has been decimated. In addition to that, he's also confirmed that thousands of drones and missiles belonging to the group have also been decimated. While most Western nations continue to lend support to Israel, but they have also reiterated the need to de-escalate in the same breath. They recognize Israel's attempt at curbing terrorism, as they call it, but they have also called for immediate de-escalation in order to avoid an all-out global conflict. And did you also notice that Islamic nations, strong ones at that, like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, do not have much to say? Saudi Foreign Ministry did urge all parties to exercise utmost caution, urging international community to play a role in de-escalating the conflict. In fact, the Saudi king, all-powerful, says he would rather care about issues in his own country. That tells you about the layers into this conflict. While the world is definitely watching the war unfold, but most global leaders appear to feel that it is best not to get directly involved into this chaos and to ensure that their people are not dragged into it. So before I conclude, where does India stand on this? Prime Minister Narendra Modi has had a call with Prime Minister Netanyahu, while Prime Minister Modi extended India's support to Benjamin Netanyahu on fight against terrorism, but has also expressed concern about the escalation in the region. In a social media statement, Prime Minister Modi reiterated the importance of preventing regional escalations and ensuring the safe return of all hostages. He's also said India is committed to restoring peace and stability at the earliest in this region. On the other hand, India and Lebanon have historically enjoyed close and friendly relationship. The two nations have shared diplomatic relationships since 1954. India was one of the very few countries that kept its embassy open in Lebanon throughout the period of its civil war from 1975 to 1990. The two nations have collaborated extensively during the overlap in 2010 as non-permanent members of the UNSC. And apart from that, approximately 4,000 Indian nationals reside in Lebanon. Majority of them employed as workers in companies, construction sector, agricultural farms. India has also assisted Lebanon in terms of defense. Indian Army personnel have been deployed in Lebanon as part of the United Nations interim force, and that happened since November 1998. So it is a healthy balance that India intends to maintain. Apart from this, approximately 9 million Indians reside across the region, and their safety is also India's priority. Thank you for watching.